There are protests in Iran. This is interesting. Now, this is a big story. So the younger Persians taking to the streets to yell against the mullahs because the mullahs, there's no freedom and there's no economic growth in the country. So the younger people go, you know, we want you out of there. We don't want this Islamic society anymore. So the Iranian troops fired on the protesters, wounding some of them. Can't get any numbers because there's no free press there. But it's bad. And this is all unintended consequences of them attacking the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. That's what led to Soleimani's demise. So the British ambassador, this is another good story underreported here, was arrested in Iran. Rob McCare, British ambassador, arrested. Nobody knows why. Now, you can't arrest an ambassador. So Iran's a rogue nation. It'd be interesting to see what Boris and the Brits do about this. President Trump this morning, on Sunday morning, tweeted, quote, "To the leaders of Iran, do not kill your protesters. Thousands have already been killed or imprisoned by you. The world is watching. More importantly, the USA is watching. Turn your internet on and let reporters roam free. Stop killing your great Iranian people," unquote. All right, Iran, you know, I don't think they'll be overthrown. We saw this in Venezuela. Very hard to overthrow a secret police-dominated state. Venezuela, the guy hangs on because the army's there. The army's with the mullahs. Very hard to overthrow. So I saw something really terrible today, and I'm going to lead this broadcast with it. If you watched the LSU-Clemson game last night, and congratulations to LSU, they deserved the #1 ranking in a college football playoffs. You saw Vince Vaughn, the actor, talking with President Trump in a private suite. They were watching the game. Now, so what? He's the president of the United States, and Mr. Vaughn is an actor, and they're in a suite. So why wouldn't they converse, right? Nothing wrong with it. I know Vince Vaughn a little. He was on The Factor. Nice guy, very talented, very funny. I like him. And so when I saw that, it didn't really register other than, oh, they're having a nice time. Well, the Twitter monsters, the fascists, got on, and now they want to ruin Vince Vaughn's career. Now, this is stupid. It's foolish. You all know it. I know it. Vince Vaughn probably knows it. But there's much more here than you would imagine. So let me run it down. So right away, the Washington Examiner writer Sergei Hashmi tweets out, "Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you Vince Vaughn is canceled." Now, the word canceled means your career is over. You're blackballed, which is against the law, by the way. Then the Palmer Report, never heard of it, far left, I guess. Quote, "Vince Vaughn had the chance to stand up to a rapist, traitor, and child murderer, and instead enthusiastically shook Donald Trump's hand." Okay, that's defamation right there. Frederick Joseph, some kind of activist, quote, "I'm not sure why people are surprised by Vince Vaughn willingly spending time with Trump. He's a wealthy white guy. The assumption should be that all of them are Make America Great Again until proven differently." Racist statement, no doubt about it. Barbara Mills, again, no idea, but this is the Twitter mob, members of the Twitter mob. Quote, "All of you saying calm down, Vaughn is shaking the hand of the man who is hell-bound on destroying not just our democracy, but our survival in the world community." Okay, so yes, these people are loons. There's no doubt about that. But the message that this sends to the Hollywood community where Vince Vaughn makes his living is, you hire him, we're going to try to hurt you. And obviously they're trying to hurt Mr. Vaughn. This is fascism. This is what they did in Stalin's Soviet Union, in Mussolini's Italy, in Hitler's Germany. Those are the three best examples. So Bernie Sanders has the nerve to basically say, I'm going to pull all the U.S. troops out of the Middle East, when he has to know that would lead to ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Muslim Brotherhood, all of them reconstituting their power and causing trouble not only in the Middle East, but worldwide. He has to know that. So Bernie was actually asked that question. Go.
In the wake of the Iran crisis, Iran's Ayatollah Khamenei has again called for all U.S. troops to be pulled out of the Middle East, something you've called for as well. Yet when American troops last left Iraq, ISIS emerged and spread terror across the Middle East and indeed around the world. How would you prevent that from happening again?
Okay, let me tell you. But before I tell you that, let me tell you something else. And that is, and I don't know if my colleagues here will agree with me or not. Maybe they will. But what we have to face as a nation is that the two great foreign policy disasters of our lifetimes were the war in Vietnam and the war in Iraq. Both of those wars were based on lies.
Okay, so Sanders never answered the ISIS question. Insulted Wolf Blitzer by not answering it. Blitzer insulted himself and his audience by failing to follow up and saying, hold it. You can give me a history of Vietnam, you can give me a history of Iraq. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking about right now. There's a clear and present danger of ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and other terrorists. They live and they work in the Middle East. You want to pull out U.S. troops, which would obviously allow them to reconstitute, because President Obama did exactly the same thing. Pulled all the troops out of Iraq, and bang, ISIS caused trouble for 5 years, murdering thousands of people. So Sanders insults all of us, by dodging the question, and the CNN moderator allows it. Okay, let's get to Democratic politics. So Warren and Sanders, and I flagged you to this on Tuesday night, they don't like each other. And Warren basically did something that I feel was cheap. So Warren and Sanders had a private conversation in 2018 discussing who could beat Donald Trump. And according to Warren, in that conversation, Sanders said, a woman can't do it because he'll do X, Y, and Z to women. Donald Trump will. So Warren leaks this now because her poll numbers are dropping. That Sanders has bypassed her. And she leaks it to CNN, of course. And she said, Bernie Sanders told me a woman can't run. Why? To damage Bernie Sanders with the women vote. I don't think that's really nice. I don't think that's really classy that Elizabeth Warren did it, and she did it. Sanders then finds himself in a position to have to deny it, which he did in the debate. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Did he say it? I don't know. I think he said something like it'd be more difficult for a woman, maybe, but I don't know. All right, so Warren makes the accusation, leaks it to CNN. CNN reports. Sanders is embarrassed. He's asked at the debate about it. He denies it. Then after the debate, this happens. Go.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion, we'll have that discussion. You called me, you told me. All right, let's not do it now.
All right, there you go. So somebody's lying. All right. And this does not do the Democratic Party any good at all.